And now it's time for Getting Real Cleveland. And I am your host, Doug Duke, aka the self-proclaimed greatest influencer in the world. I'm here with my co-host, Mike Went, Mr. Cleveland Film, and I got Chris Allen Evans and Alexander Jeffrey here from the great film out now, Peeping Todd. How's everybody doing? Welcome.
Oh, we're doing great. Doug, can you get your face more in the camera for more? Just leave it there when you're doing the intro, right there.
Do the whole
Uh,
pod that way.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys did not log off after that, so already a success. Um, Jesus, where do we even start? Well, the movie you just released it on Saturday, right? Digitally.
Yeah.
So what's it on? Apple, Amazon,
Yep. And Google Play.
and Google Play.
Hmm.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on that, first and foremost. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and you guys had it seemed like you guys had a really good festival run, right?
We did.
Yeah.
We actually just premiered the sing-along version on Friday night at our hometown theater at the Robinson Film Center in Shreveport. And I gotta say, that was fun. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
yeah. The when like 70 people start singing along, with you in the theater in the first song, it was a real moment. Yeah, it felt good, which is surprising because we've had several moments along the way, and each time that we find another section of our audience, it feels like, it just feels good to celebrate with all these other weirdos.
oh yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's awesome though, guys. Like obviously that's how we met. You guys came to the old Cleveland International Film Festival, and I mean, thank you guys again for, for that. I had such a great time with you on both of the screening nights. And thanks again for doing this too, you guys. Like I said, even when I met you guys are a bunch of sweethearts. I felt like I was a part of your friend group like immediately. I was like,
You
I was like, you
are.
guys are awesome, and we were already like cracking jokes immediately. And Chris over there, he was like, "Are you the Chip Douglas on Letterbox? Were you the one that left us that review?" I was like, "That's me."
Yeah.
So we immediately bonded over Cable Guy, like as if I
Yeah.
already, didn't see your movie, and I was like, "Oh, these guys are clearly hilarious and awesome." I was like, and then we bonded over Cable Guy. I was like, "Oh yeah, just sold."
Somebody on Reddit called Chris not Jim Carrey. Not Jim Carrey playing
Yeah.
a peeper.
Yeah.
So it's great. We
Yeah.
I
love
think
that.
well,
What
it's funny. Like me and Jim Carrey are both not Jim Carrey right now,
Ooh, yeah.
right?
Right.
I know, I know.
Freaking
Do you,
meta.
And
do
so
you guys?
now we're going to just turn this into a conspiracy theorist podcast. That's enough peeping Todd. Um, and what rabbit holes do you guys want to go down?
Well, first I want Chris to take off his mask.
Yeah, you could. Thank you.
Yeah, I can Scooby Doo this at the end of it. Reveal that I am Jim Carrey. Came
You're the
right
Jim
through
Carrey who
that.
went to Cannes, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that lizard.
Yeah.
Well, this is amazing already. Well, I guess we'll just start, let's let the people know. So this was a short first. And what year would that come out again?
22.
22? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The short film "Peeping Todd" premiered in October of 22 at our hometown festival in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is really a film contest. It's for a prize, a cash prize, and we submitted a pervert musical, knowing we wouldn't win, but it turns out we won anyways. Won the hearts of, dozens of people. So
That's all
Well,
you need.
what was really fun about the premiere of the short was that Josh cut the trailer and didn't tell anybody that it was a musical. So like the people seeing it in theaters for the first time in Shreveport like learned that it was a musical while they were watching the movie, and the reaction was incredible.
Oh my God, that is
Yeah.
awesome. All right, well, that's awesome. So in 22, that happens, and then what leads into getting the feature going, and then just like that whole journey of like getting this where we are now.
well, I'll throw this to Alex, but Josh and I, we're finished with it, right? I mean, we had come up with this idea on a lark, the idea of a singing, dancing stalker, and just thought it would be funny to embarrass ourselves in front of our hometown. And so we were like done with it, but ready to make something else. And then that's when Alex approached us after tell how that went down, Alex.
Well, Paul, who plays Thad, in the Peeping Todd feature, just
Phenomenal.
the biggest
Yeah.
the biggest douchebag on the planet. Um, we were making a pickleball documentary, and so we were driving around the country with Brittany, who's one of the producers on this as well.
Mhm.
And we were like, I think on hour 14 of one of those drives, we had run out of everything else to listen to on Spotify, and we were like, let's throw on the Peeping Todd short film soundtrack on Spotify. And we were just like listening to the songs, like replaying them over and over again, and just having a blast. And like Peeping Todd the short was my first time ever working with Josh. I'd worked with Chris a bunch before that, and it was like truly just a fun experience on set. Like all the stresses that usually come with production, I just look back on that shoot and I'm just like, that was the most fun I've ever had on set. And so Paul, I think, was the one that in the car was like, we should make a Peeping Todd feature. Like I think we could do it for no money. We can all just like, throw in our time and make it on the weekends or whatever it would be. And so we kind of came back and pitched that to Josh and Chris. And similar to the timeline of the short film, like Josh just started sending songs to all of us, and I'd be playing them for my wife Ambrosia, like in the kitchen late at night. Like we'd be hanging out cooking. I'd be like playing these demos that he was sending. I think Butt Stuff was the first one, and then the HOA song, and like everything was just so catchy. And like I'll never forget sending the pitch deck to an investor, and I was like, you have to listen to these songs, as you read this pitch deck, and like, it was a person in their late 50s, early 60s, and I was like sending them Butt Stuff song, and with Josh's singing voice on it because we hadn't recorded the cast yet. I can't remember. Did you record any demos for the feature stuff, Chris?
No,
Or was
all
that
the
all Josh?
demos were Josh and
Yeah.
Melissa. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Melissa
Yeah.
was singing on them too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So Melissa was the Claire, saying
Right.
Claire don't care first.
Yeah, yeah.
With our ingenue. So yeah, yeah, and those exist. Like, you can find some of the demos on Spotify actually that Josh and Melissa sing on.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I told you guys this during the festival. Like I couldn't stop listening. I listened to it today too, because obviously we were doing this, and man, those songs, like you said, they're so fucking catchy. And I mean, Mike just watched this, so I'd love to actually kind of hear what he has to say a little bit about the songs.
Now, I mean, like I said, I mean, like 45, literally like 45 seconds in, I'm hearing this first song and I couldn't, I was so taken, like totally in, and it's like it reminds me of like, and like I said, I wish I could have watched it at the festival because it just reminded me of all those like festival type movies that I've seen that just tell me why I love going to film festivals and like just kind of being with the like-minded freaks that we are sometimes. And see,
Totally.
it's just like, yeah, I mean, each of them is great. I mean, God, yeah, I wish I could elaborate more, Doug, but
What do you guys consider? I mean, you just don't have to name one, I guess, but what do you love like kind of the most, or whatever. Give me a top nine. I don't.
Well, it's really satisfying, like all these months removed from when Alex and I first heard the demos from Josh, to know that people can't get them out of their heads like we were for like months before the movie ever existed. Before it ever existed, Alex's wife, this friend circle of our about 15 people were jamming Josh's demos to each other and like inside joking it for almost a full year before anybody else had ever heard it, So like we know what you're going through. Like we felt like this is so fun, and we can throw the references back and forth to each other. And I think the very first one that sort of hit in our group was the HOA song.
Yeah.
When the big the big hook drops at the end, and you start, we've got a peeper. It's pretty infectious, and so
Yes, it is.
that had us going.
Yeah, that definitely has been playing in my head. You did it. I was gonna do it, but yeah. But no, that's awesome. So you guys just like had these songs going, and then that just like keeps spiraling, like what this like script or the ideas more to like really get it to the full feature.
The first few songs that Josh wrote, they were like focused at being funny and developing the character and existing in the world. The story hadn't been totally worked out at that point, other than, we knew it was a thriller and it needed to end with have Todd have a demise at the end. So once we had about 5 or 6 songs, Josh and I started patching together the story. So it became a little bit like connecting the dots and figuring out which song would go where as the story developed. And then some of the lyrics changed a little bit along the way too to sort of support the story in that way.
Oh man, that's actually really cool. That's a very interesting way of like to get that. Also, spoiler of Todd's demise, but
Well, I mean, maybe I don't know.
you
It's
know,
like it's
yeah,
up.
who
I think
knows?
it's one of those up for debate at the end.
He, well,
Um,
we don't need to go into it. the
um,
No, but it's cool because like to hear, I got songs and I got a script, right? So I didn't get to go through the much of the creative writing process with Josh and Chris on this one, but the three of us have been workshopping this new musical together called Guard of the Month, and I got to be part of the writing room on that. So like now, getting a few songs from Josh on that one and then getting in the writing room, I kind of have an idea of how Peeping Todd took shape in the writing just from being a part of that writing room and just throwing ideas at the wall and stuff. And I think one of the things that we kind of narrowed in on doing the feature is like, all right, we got to cast the funniest people in Shreveport. And so like that's where like Kemerton, the character of Kemerton, the sidekick to Donovan, the playing Mark Glasscock, who had a role in the short, but it was a different role. We're like, oh, we got to get Kemerton in there because he's funny, and we got to put we got to get everybody that's funny on camera in this thing. And like Holt Boggs, who's not from Shreveport, he's based in Austin, but he's funny. We saw him do a short. What's Holt's short called? It's
Crazy.
Crazy on the festival circuit, and we're like, we got to get Holt in because he's just hilarious.
Hey, director Josh Munds, welcome to the Cleveland Zoom.
Hey.
Yep, getting real Cleveland. Hey, that's a nice photo of
I
you.
forgot I have these on. Anyways, yeah, get in your email and hop on. All right, bye.
I guess we're getting another guest.
Hey.
We'll see. Mike, you get to make the call whether you want to let him in or not.
Yeah, he just texted
I'll
me
make him sweat it.
9, right?
9, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's good. I didn't think I was gonna make it on time, but look at me, I did it.
He did it.
So that's cool though that like you just kind of got to see the process now with working on the new one, which I fucking cannot wait for a new movie from you guys. That's also going to be a musical again. That's exciting. But yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk a little bit maybe just about production and like shooting it. I mean, obviously here we got Alexander Jeffrey here, who is also the cinematographer as well as producer. But and I've told Mike this, and I've told you this, Alex, like this movie's absolute fucking cinema. Like immediately, like as soon as it opens, you could just like, okay, this is what this is gonna look like, and then it just, I mean, it gets more beautiful as it keeps going, but just phenomenal, incredible job. It's important. Like I'm such a, I guess that's me where maybe my snobbiness in a way. Like if something just like kind of looks like shit to me, and I'm sure you like, I just like I'm out. Like I can't, if there's like no creativity or whatever, and like it was immediate. It was already just funny with the song, obviously, and fucking Chris here. But just the look of the film, absolutely incredible. But yeah,
Thanks. Yeah, it was definitely like our goal. And I definitely can't take all the credit for the way that it looks. Like our production design team, Reese and Hannah, or Reese and Camille, like giving us the stuff to photograph is huge. And like Rex, my gaffer, with the lighting, like he and I were like I couldn't have done it myself. And so him, bringing his elevated lighting to it, and the production design team, like it was our goal for people to watch this and not think like, oh, they only had less than $100,000 to make this. Like, we wanted people to look at it and go like, okay, they must have had like a semi-decent budget, even though we didn't. Just to make it something that feels right in the marketplace. Like when you're clicking on the trailer or the poster or whatever, that it's like, it looks like passable as an indie film. And that was, every shot we're like, all right, can we make this look better? And Josh's big thing was, really wanting to shoot this on a zoom lens and embrace sort of the voyeurism of this character of Todd. And so like we shot the whole movie on one lens, which I love. Like it's this back element anamorphic zoom lens, and that just lived on the camera for the whole film.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And,
Well,
and we're, lucky that like Paul and I own an Arri Alexa Mini because we have a production company and we do commercials and corporate work and stuff like that. So we're just like, the production can use all of our gear because we're producing this and trying to make it as good as we possibly can.
And congratulations, you did. Speaking of terrific lighting, look who joined us, everybody.
Look at that.
Hey!
That's right. Writer director Josh Munds there. How you doing? You driving? This is safe.
Yeah, I'm just driving, cruising the streets of Shreveport.
Yeah.
Nice.
You guys...
That's the end of that sentence. Okay, good.
Yeah, there was no more. That's it.
Yeah, so Josh was a little confused on the time zones.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm a big idiot, as they say in Latin.
In Latin. Yeah.
We also didn't put that together and think about time zones. We were just like 9.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. That's my bad.
Yeah.
No, we're good. We're here now.
I know. Look at us. We hope you're going to be safe this whole run here.
Hopefully dangerous. I mean, this is great. We're driving around while on a Zoom. I've never done this before.
I know. This is a first. I mean, I'm pretty excited. This is a first. Not only is it a first for our show to actually have, filmmakers here talking about the movie, because it's usually me and Mike or my damn self talking. We just did like Tommy Boy. And now we have the Peeping Todd people here, and a man is driving a car. This is all first.
Josh, can we actually watch traffic instead of your face?
Probably.
Well, we were just talking about the production, and you kind of. Oh, thank you.
It's beautiful.
It's actually a very nice sky.
Yeah. Tony Scott sky. So.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, we were just talking about the production, and Alex here was running us through, just the way this movie looks and how incredible it looks. I don't know if you got anything to say there, Mr. Writer, Director.
Well, I don't know. Alex and me talked about like what the look of it. Like, what was the mixture, Alex? It was of 2 shows. Did you already mention it?
The Curse was a big one. From like the sort of day-to-day non-musical scenes, like trying to find places that the camera can live where we can play it out in a long zoom or that kind of thing. And then in the musical numbers, it was like weirdly one of my inspirations for lighting was Twilight, just because those movies are so polished. They look so good, and I was like, how can we make this look like a Disney kind of level of am I allowed to swear on the show? Like a fucked up Disney movie, with the lighting. And then, like we would also reference all these like musicals like Chicago and Little Shop of Horrors and Grease and anything that we could to sort of pull those references in. Like we have that sort of shot that mimics High School Musical where she kneels down at the water and looks at her reflection that like is super cheesy on purpose, where we like comp in her face in the reflection of the water. So there's things like we're like, how many references can we throw to these classic musicals, and pay homage to that without like it feeling ever in your face.
I think one of my favorite visual things that definitely was Josh wanted was in the scenes where Todd is plotting and planning his devices.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And you just have the camera just back and forth and shit flying all up through the air and sweat and movement, and you know, the way it's lit. Like I think that's really fun. There's a lot of different elements, and that's not even in one of the complicated musical numbers. It's just
Right.
you know,
No, I think I remember bringing that part up to you guys because I was like, "Oh, the score there sounds like
Beetlejuice.
Danny Elfman, and it was
Yeah,
Beetlejuice, right?"
yeah.
So good. Yeah. So as well as obviously this incredible musical, but yeah, those score pieces. Who did the score again?
So it's a guy named Bence Farkas. He's a composer based out of Budapest, and he's worked on me or on several of my films over the years. And that was actually a really fun collab. Is that like, you know, Josh had made these amazing songs, and he was like, I want to work with a composer not only on doing the sort of interstitial score parts of the movie, but also like beefing up the actual musical numbers too. So Bence would go in and like layer instruments into the songs that Josh had done.
Wow. You know,
Yeah.
one of the questions I wanted to ask is, you know, because it seems like you had limited locations, which is smart, I think, for, you know, something on that budget. You know, what was the how many shooting days did you have for this? You know, because I assume like the singing portions probably took a little longer than everything else, but yeah, I'm kind of curious to hear that process.
It was a weird shooting schedule. So we shot everything with Mabel, who plays Claire, in 12 days. We did 2 6-day weeks, and then we all took a break, which was nice. I went to Canada on vacation. These guys hung out in Shreveport, and we came back and we did 4 days of pickups, which included two of the musical numbers. Inside Thad, where Chris and Paul are rolling around on the bed together, which was really fun to shoot. And then the singing hand, the masturbation song. So that was like, it was actually nice to kind of break it up like that. Like it's very atypical of a film shoot to have, you know, pickups that close to like principal photography. So it was like not even really pickups. It was more of we took a long break and then we came back and shot for a few days.
Yeah,
sorry.
Well, I was going to say the break was really nice, but
Yeah.
someone might look at that original 12-day shoot on paper and think how grueling it was. It was, you know, 6 12-hour days in a row, a literal 24-hour break, like just 24 hours off, and then another 6 12-hour days in a row. And you might look at that and think, man, that sounds hard. But the morale on set, like the fun we were having, it's like it kind of was easy is not the word, but fun, and it wasn't grueling.
Yeah, it kind of kept us going.
Yeah.
And we started, so Josh's parents' house, which is also in the short, for Claire's house, is where we started. We started with the scene where actually one of the musical numbers at the very end, the cat and mouse song, was like our first shooting day. And then we smacked Chris over the head with that vase, broke the vase on his head, and he got a scar. Yeah, I don't know if you want to tell that story, Chris, but that was day one.
Yeah, well, day one is the movie's climax scene, where, you know, he attacks Claire and Claire defends herself with this clay pot, and our production designer, you know, knows we're on a shoestring budget, and he's a frugal guy who saves stuff from some of the big unionized sets that he works, and he had this breakaway clay pot that was, you know, 2 or 3 years old. He'd been saving it, and what we learned is that clay pots cure in the Louisiana heat over 3 summers. So it broke, but it wasn't breakaway. And that, you know, that was day one. So a little bit scary, but I'll tell the story just like I knew as soon as it hit my head, like, oh, that wasn't right. But I stayed in it. Like I still needed to do one more action for the camera after that. And so I stayed in it and did that. But as soon as cut was called, I look at the crew and it's just like 16 mortified people. And Josh like this. I've never seen Josh look like this in his life. I've never seen him look like that. And I said, "Am I bleeding?" And Josh went,
Oh my God.
He was covering his mouth because he was giggling.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. That tracks.
but like that's part of the reason that we start with like the hard stuff is because everybody's fresh, and so like that's something that we always try to do is like day one, week one, can we get something really challenging done in the can while everybody's like at their top, because we know we're going to be tired by Friday and Saturday, so like let's try to put some of the easier stuff those days.
Right.
And then also like we're shooting nights in the summer when the nights are the absolute shortest that they're ever going to be. So that was like, there's definitely moments on set where like, why didn't we wait until October to shoot this movie again? When it's like not only cooler out, but the nights are longer, and this is a big night movie.
Yeah, well, it's a Peeping Todd movie.
It's a Peeping Todd movie.
No, that's awesome to hear though, because I think pretty much anybody that wants to make films, and even the little things that I have done, it's all about working with your friends and having a good time, and it's just like awesome to hear that. So like 12-hour days are nothing if it's a good time and you guys are having a good time together. And I mean, not only does it just like you can feel it from the film, I think itself, it was like, it would really suck if you guys were all like, no, we really don't even like each other, and we didn't have a good time at all. But that is clearly not the case. So no, that's great to hear. And I mean, we've kind of just been harping on it, just like the whole technical side of everything, and again with the cinematography and the production design is also just like you even brought up already, but incredible. Just everything technically is phenomenal. But then we got to go over to the side of Chris over here, and the performances and every fucking actor, and I mean everybody here has a little moment in this movie, by the way. Everybody's in it, which is awesome, which is another sign of how fucking fun you guys are having, because like, oh yeah. But like, I guess just like, let's get to Mabel and obviously Chris. Well, you guys have already like worked together, right? And you've done the short, so we know where like Chris came from. And we heard a little bit about where where Paul already came from. Just, God, he's so fucking ridiculous in this movie. But yeah, just like, let's just like kind of go through the cast and, give us some good stories.
Well, we can start with Mabel. Mabel was our only actor that we went through a casting process with, and she came out of Atlanta. And, I mean, we needed a triple threat. We needed someone who could sing, dance, and be funny. We started with be funny.
Yeah.
And Josh and Alex and I when our casting agent started sending us tapes, somehow independently, we all watched Mabel first, like not coordinated, but just happened that way. And all commented to each other like, damn, this Mabel Thomas is hilarious. And we went through all the ladies in 2 rounds, and then it just ended up being Mabel. She definitely had the best chemistry with Paul. We did a chemistry reading with her and Paul, and Josh's thing is like to get you to improvise in key moments, and so he had him do that, and all that came after we had sort of like we whittled it down by funny, and then did a group with singing and dancing where they got a second audition, and then it came down to the 3, and we did a chemistry read with Paul, and it was Mabel. Everybody that we had in our final 3 was fantastic, and in their own right, but Mabel just seemed like she had the temperament and the weird, quirky, funny mentality that we were looking for.
Yeah, like she elevated the material. Like she in her reads would throw little improvs in, which Chris already said, and it's like she's gonna make the movie better by being in it. And that was like, that maybe was not the same with the other people. Like they were all, like Chris said, fantastic, but she brought that little sort of je ne sais quoi, like is going to improve the film by just being in it.
She did. Yeah, she was amazing. I think I even said to you guys when we were doing the Q&A at the festival, like there's even a little like I kind of got a little Anna Faris from her, like from Scary Movie, just like that kind of
totally.
Yeah,
like young Catherine O'Hara too.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
I like to say she kind of looks like I say this, and she's a discount Emma Stone, and then Paul Peterson's a discount Chris Pratt, and I'm a fake Chris Evans. So I got a triple threat of characters.
Nice. And Josh wasn't here, but we did learn that Chris is actually the real Jim Carrey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You'll find that out later if you watch this. Where did how did you guys how did you meet Chris, or where did this like whole working relationship start from?
I think I was actually looking this up the other day. We were doing shorts, like skits, where one of them we filmed at my dad's church, where my wife Melissa plays someone who's dead, but Chris's character doesn't know it and he keeps interacting with her. Chris, do you remember that skit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think that's the first time we worked together, because we went to Film Prize and saw Chris acting in Candyland, and he did a phenomenal job. And we're like, man, who is that dude? Like, we need to work with him. So we came up with an excuse to get him to drive all the way to Marshall and keep him there forever. But we eventually respected him and stuff like that. And we're like, all right, fine, we'll hang out. But that's how we first kind of got to know each other, which was like 2018, 2019, something like that.
I think we met in 2016 on a film set. You'd sing Hangman and you just introduced yourself.
Yeah.
And then within the year, we started doing the skits together.
Yeah.
So that was probably late 2017 or so, like that.
Oh, wow.
This is my second career. I retired from radio mid 2015. I saw Alex win our hometown festival like 4 months after I had, retired from my radio career. And then a month later, or 2 months later, he and I worked together for the first time on a sizzle reel thing that he was asked to direct, and I was just a PA on it. And we became friends pretty quick after that. So we all kind of met independently around the same time.
But it was Film Prize though that basically brought us all together, which is this competition that Chris keeps kind of alluding to in Shreveport. And I had a point to make about that. Oh, that's what it was. So there's 20 films in this competition. It's like a local competition, and anybody can compete. You have to shoot in Louisiana. And Chris acted in this movie Hangman in 2016, and like he said, he'd left radio. He'd never acted before. He does this thing. The next year, so he's in one of the top 20 movies that year. The next year, Candyland comes out, and he has this hilarious performance as this character called Melvin Jr. in Candyland. And I think the following year in 2018, he was in like 9 of the top 20 movies. It's like he went from being in one movie to like being everybody's go-to like actor for their short. So like he just got the training quick just from working on so many sets.
Right. I was like, oh yeah, who's this guy? And then now look at him. I mean, for real though, give it up for Chris in this movie, man. I mean, you were so fucking great and amazing and so fucking funny, dude. And you could sing too. Look at you.
Yeah. Keep going, Doug. Keep going.
I was gonna say, can we cut this short?
We can. This is why they created editing, so we can chop that part out.
I do one long hot take. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, but like truly though, like not to blow too much smoke up Chris, but like it takes a really special actor to pull this role off. Like to have the audience on the side of the creepy stalker dude that's singing in the bushes for most of the movie takes like a really special performance. And it was cool to see how that performance evolved even from the short film to the feature film. Like finding that sweetness within Todd and that innocence and like just watching that on camera. And I think I told you in the Q&A, Doug, like I'm sitting there shaking the camera, operating it because he's making me laugh like every 5 seconds. It's just the camera's shaking the whole movie and it shouldn't be, but he was just too funny.
That's phenomenal to hear. But yeah, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Thad, old Paul over there. Because he was Didn't you guys tell me that? Well, in the short, he's actually named Paul, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 And then he didn't want to do that for the feature.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. We wrote the whole feature as Paul, and then and we had him doing some pretty gnarly stuff in there, and so there was like 3 over the table negotiations between Josh and Paul before Paul was like, okay, I'll do it. You know, even after he was the one that said we should do it.
Yeah.
Uh, and then
It took some convincing.
yeah, and then one of the negotiations was change the name, and Josh came up with this beautiful name for him.
Dad. Yeah.
Actually, I was watching it when I was watching it at the Robinson the other night. I was like, it wouldn't work if it wasn't Thad, because
Yeah.
it sounds enough like Todd, whereas like she could kind of in the like store or whatever when he's like, I'm Thad, and oh, you mean Todd? Like if it was Paul, that wouldn't really work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had it planned from the start.
When he wouldn't use his real name, Josh, did you just try to be like, okay, what's the most stupidest fucking name I can come up with?
Yeah, literally. I was like, I need a name that sounds really dumb then, because this kind of gave us an avenue to make it as dumb as possible. Where I was like, all right, you know what? Paul sounds too smart. He's right. We need to do something really dumb.
Thad.
And I apologize to any Thads watching, because Godspeed to you. You've got a dumb name.
I gotta say, one of my favorite performances, and I think she's only in one scene, but Melissa's scene in the pool
Oh yeah,
made
yeah.
me laugh so hard. Like I full disclosure, I was watching it at work, and so my coworkers were like, "What are you laughing about?" And I had to, of course, like, like pretend like I was actually working, but. I had to look her up real quick because I was just like, why is she not in like every comedy film or something?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she does like so much character work with her content that she can just jump into a character at any whim. She can just create it on the spot and jump right into the skin of the person.
Yeah, it's pretty frightening. You should see her flip it on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's freaky.
Yeah.
She just turns into a 13-year-old boy in a millisecond, and you're like,
Well, it's great. I'm glad he brought that up. And her scene in the pool, and that man's drowning. I learned also during the Q&A with you guys that she took a good crack at editing that scene, right?
Yeah, I remember we've been going back and forth on the edit, and we just couldn't kind of nail down something that was working. And so I was like, I told Melissa, like, I think we need to do like a music video edit for the scene. And so she went in there and put her paws on it and came back out with this. And I at first, it's like kind of jarring to watch compared to what we had, because what we had was very slow and moving, but this one was very quick and fast, unlike the other edits that we've been doing. But then it just kind of grew on me, and I kind of really enjoyed it, how fast it is with the quick cuts and stuff like that on beat.
Oh no, it's amazing. And I've said that to you guys. I was like the pacing, and I said that to her. I was like the pacing of that is just, I mean, that's what gives it the extra. I mean, it's already funny, man drowning, nobody gives a shit. Like that's funny. But then just the way just the way that's cut is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it adds like a fun energy to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's so fucking talented in this fucking the cast. Everybody can just do everything, right? I mean, Josh at the end there, he's singing.
Well, yeah, and also I don't know if you guys remember, but I got on Zoom while I was driving. That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive. I will be sending this to the authorities. I'm sorry, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I get it.
What else? Oh, I read. Since we're sitting here talking, Josh, I read your from Movie Maker, right? The article.
Oh yeah,
that just came out, dude. That's just so fucking funny. Like the article's hilarious. Just like putting your little quips in there and everything. yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. That was such a
Oh, I
fucking. I
appreciate
was like
that.
literally laughing out loud reading the article, and I love that you brought up Fresh Prince of Bel Air and like that
Yeah.
moment. Like
I
that
mean,
hit.
that is a tough moment for my tiny boy heart. It's, I think it kind of broke something and built something in me at the same time, you know?
Yeah, I think all of us like that. Was,
Yeah.
I was like, this is why we all get along too. We're all like in that same era too. It was like that, and you brought up fucking Tommy Boy, so you know.
Yeah. Tommy Boy, the classic, dude. Top 10 all
Yeah.
time.
I
Yeah,
literally,
that article, I want to say props to Alex for helping me with the article. Like all the smart stuff that you hear in there came from Alex's mind,
The
and all
boring
the
stuff.
really dumb stuff is from me.
well, we all need our Uncle Phil, buddy.
That's right.
That was fun though, because we were on a road trip to Nebraska for a film festival that Peeping Todd didn't get into, but Josh came with me anyway.
That's what I do, baby.
And we like he was like writing the article like the whole drive and at the coffee shop there and stuff. It was
Oh,
fun.
that's awesome. But yeah, and again, like that just brings up my point of just you guys are awesome, so fucking funny. You even make the fucking article funny, which I thought, it's like, I'm like, this is why I love you guys. Like, this is great.
Well, we love you, Doug Duke.
Oh, that's sweet. See, these are the best, man. Where were you, Mike Went? Where were you during these screenings? You missed out, man. It was a great
I
time.
know. I was working up in the booth, you know.
Mike, don't worry. We love you adjacent. Like you're love adjacent. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So what else? What else do we talk about with like the casting? Oh, Glasscock, right?
Yes.
Like where the
Glasscock.
fuck, where does this man come from? Like, God, he's incredible.
Who knew Josh, you knew Donovan the first time we worked with him on the
Yeah.
short, or did we get a reference? How did Donovan get involved for the short?
I think a friend of mine referenced him because he was in a play, and he did really good in the play because he can sing in such a cool low voice. And can you guys hear that frog? There's a frog in my audio. I don't know. He's really annoying for me, but if he's not annoying you, it's fine. But the Donovan, whenever we got him, he immediately for the short film fit into the role exactly how he wanted. You want to be on camera? Okay.
Hey.
Hey, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, I guess I got the time wrong. So
Yeah, I did too. I answered this while on the road.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, once we got Donovan locked in for the short, we were like immediately we got to have him for the feature. Like we have to.
He's so fucking funny. He's so
That's it.
funny.
That's all. You guys got it. You finished. Fill in the blank.
That story was one act. Yeah, but the only thing is like we keep killing Donovan in everything we do, and he's down for it. But his transition from the short film, by the time we made the feature film just a couple of years later, we had all sort of gotten to know Donovan a whole lot better, and I had worked with him a couple more times, and the character that he plays in the feature is really not like the character that he plays, in the short film.
Yeah.
And he's just like the perfect foil because he takes it way too seriously, the whole time. And he's the sweetest guy too. Like, but he can play these terrible characters also.
He's also aces, and it is the seriousness, and that's like some of these movies, when you are doing like the silly, like kind of dumb thing, the one thing that I always feel, that kind of get like so like Naked Gun, obviously, and like Airplane, like the reason those work, and especially Naked Gun, Frank Drebin is like he's just dead serious. He's not playing the joke, and that's what you guys do as well. Like, you know what I mean? You're not just doing something, it's not what are some of those ones that didn't like really work, like Meet the Spartans, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to, no, I'm not here to just shit on all these other movies, but like, where it's just like, oh, it's just like it's just flat and it doesn't work. And I love that you guys, I mean, that's what kind of hit me immediately when I watched it, when I screened it before the fest, it was just like, oh, the commitment, and it's just like it's grounded, and that's what makes it so fucking funny too. Is that like a part of like your guys's DNA as well? Like you grew up obviously with that move, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
and some of the like early Farley Brothers stuff too, like the Dumb and Dumber, and
Mhm.
I think you're right, Doug. Like this, I mean, Jason Bateman talks about it a ton on his podcast, Smartless. Like when you wink at the audience, the air gets just sucked out of the room, and it's like when it is truly grounded and you're playing the stakes of the comedy. I mean, I'm not an actor in this, but like that's to me, for my taste, that's what makes me laugh.
Yeah, in the short film, it comes through in the attack sequence when Paul and like just before the attack sequence, Paul and Claire are having this like really serious conversation, but it's just they're saying the dumbest stuff, but it's so like sincere and serious to each other. And so we definitely talked. That was sort of Josh put that into the short because it's really only in that one scene. But by the time we got to the feature, we were like, no, you got to play it straight, like it was part of the game plan.
Yeah. Good job. And hi, Melissa. Say hi,
Hi.
everybody. There's Melissa, everybody. You missed it. Mike brought up your amazing scene and how great you were, and then
Oh
we talked
God.
about how you edited it. But yeah,
Well,
thanks for
thank
joining.
you.
There's Melissa. She's editor, producer, actress. She's amazing. And well, and Alexander, Alex, don't go sell yourself short. You say you're not an actor, but you are in this movie.
Look, when Dancing with the Stars comes on, I do not miss it. And if the HOA meeting runs long, I will walk out mid-meeting.
He's still killing. And then, even though she's not here, Britt, she has maybe one of the best lines of the movie.
Are you taking a fat stinky shit right now?
But I want to. My impression of that scene is like Josh directing Brittany in that scene. Okay, this time just fat shit. Okay, this time stinky fat shit.
Oh my God. Well, so we've done, we've went through production. I mean, do you guys have any like really other fun stories that you maybe didn't tell yet from just shooting before we really move into a little more on the post and kind of everything else?
In Cleveland, after the first Q&A, a lady came up to me and said, I just want to let you know that I dated a guy in college that after he graduated went on to become a peeping Tom.
Awesome.
And I was like, I'm Chris. What's your name? Yeah, but she stayed after to catch me and tell me that she had she had already broke up with him long before that, but like she was just so joyfully delivering the news in a weird way that her ex-college boyfriend had become a peeping Tom and got arrested.
Man, that's awesome. I'm so glad it happened in Cleveland too.
See, this movie's changing people's lives. It's allowing them to,
It's also bringing up past trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike's watching it at work. We just cut into the GDP. We're moving the needle, boys.
We are just a little bit at a time.
Oh my God. You guys are such a fucking blast. How's so Alex, you brought up like kind of what you guys are working on next, right? How's all that coming together?
Well, we're taking a little detour off the interstate of the next musical, and Josh and Chris are going to be doing a Bigfoot movie that they're dragging me into, which is fun. But then the next musical, I mean, the initial brainstorming session that we had on it is a lot of fun, and the songs are, I mean, even Josh's songwriting is just getting better, which is hard to believe.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one, and I think the only thing we can say about it is that it takes place within the world of Peeping Todd, but it will not deal with the character of Peeping Todd.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or Chris is Chris going to be in this too?
Oh yeah,
we got to fit him in somewhere,
Yeah, it's this one takes place in South Bluffs subdivision rather than the North Bluffs HOA that Peeping Todd terrorize us.
I didn't know we were opening up such bigger universes, and it's all connecting. Of course,
we're the next Marvel, and we're also going to make as much money as them.
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you got we start with the Peeping Tom, and then
yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Let's jump back and say, what the fuck's this Bigfoot thing all about?
That's Bigfoot Bros is what the tentative title is. A producer buddy of mine, one of his friends saw Peeping Todd and was like, "Hey, who is this guy? Let's attach him as director to this project." So then they asked me to rewrite and ask my buddies to work on it. And so I was like, you know what? I think this would be a fun project to jump on board, and an excuse basically to hang out with my friends and make something. It's always fun, especially if other people are paying for it. So why not?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is Chris? Are you Bigfoot?
No, I'll tell you it.
No offense.
No, it centers around two brothers running a Bigfoot scam. But the real Bigfoot does make an appearance, in the film, and I won't say if there's a love triangle or not that I'm involved in. I won't say if there's a love triangle or not that I'm involved in.
Okay, we don't want to give it away, but it's not with Bigfoot.
I won't say whether there's a love triangle or not. I'm
Blink twice so we know you're safe. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for doing this. This is awesome. I could literally sit here and talk to you guys for probably another few hours. But he might have to go drive somewhere.
You're more than welcome to come along for the ride.
I'm in. But congratulations again on Peeping Todd. It's available everywhere. Well, Google, Apple, and Amazon, right? Did I know that?
Yeah.
And it's just congratulations on that, guys. I hope
Thank you.
I think it's killing. I hope
So
it's
well
killing.
done. Yeah.
Right. He fixed his screen in the back, so there it is. It's in the back on Chris's TV there. Oh,
there we go.
There you go. Buy it, everybody. These guys are fucking hilarious. They love all the funny stuff. They are fucking hilarious. Thank you guys for being on. We got Chris Allen Evans here, Alexander Jeffrey, Josh Munds, Melissa Munds, and even my co-host up there. Or I don't know what the fuck this is going to look like, how this is going to record, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're learning.
Thanks for coming on, being our first filmmakers too, to talk about the new film, Getting Real Cleveland. Thanks for coming on, Getting Real Cleveland, guys. Any last words?
Say cheese, motherfucker.
No, thanks so much for having us, man.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Mike, Doug, we really appreciate it. And hope to see you again soon, man.
Yeah,
man. Take care, y'all.
We've got a peeper in our neighborhood.